up, y'all?
How y'all doing?
Hey, thank y'all for coming out today.
Boy, TJ, it's over.
This is
No
amazing.
bloodline. We got Paul completely destroying the bloodline. I wore all my Cody stuff.
You're a big Cody fan too, so it's
Yeah, if you've seen me on the internet, I'm a huge Cody fan. And bro, I don't know what to do. I'm distraught. I don't know how to feel, man.
This man cried in the car on the way home last night, like real tears.
I walked, listened to R&B. John Cena has given me a new moment when wrestling broke my heart. Poor Cody. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the heel that you love to hate, O'Shea Jackson Jr., a.k.a. Petty Guerrero.
To quote the great Scott Hall, hey, yo, it's me. It's that TOOJIGG2 Jiggy, TJ Jefferson, a.k.a. Renee Goulet. See, you didn't know I was going to do that.
I didn't. I don't like you doing new stuff for Mania. How'd you guys enjoy your Mania?
You guys have fun?
We got a sign?
Oh,
What's
okay.
Hey,
What was
bro.
favorite Mania moments from the last two nights? Anyone?
Anybody got a favorite moment?
17?
17? Yeah. Listen, Austin. Joe
Hendry.
Hendry, what a surprise. Shout out to Joe Hendry.
Listen, they said his name and he appeared. I mean, they're just quite that simple,
Listen,
right?
We all were waiting for, obviously, main event Jey Uso to do his thing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
We got that in. Shout out Jacob Fatu, your United States champion. But my favorite WrestleMania moment was Dirty Dog.
Dirty
Dirty
Dog.
Bro.
Dirty.
Yeah, man, congratulations to Dominic Mysterio, friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
A lot of friends, a lot of no contest friends got busy this weekend, and that was good to see.
Absolutely, but I think we got some new friends to make today.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, man. So I feel like I gotta give him the intro right now.
I mean, why else are we here?
Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest today on the very first ever live episode of the No Contest Wrestling Podcast. Keep those claps going. Make some noise for the NXT North American champion.
Gia.
Ricky Saints is in the house, everybody.
Let's go.
This is the revolution.
What a guy.
Yeah, there he is. Ah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Give it up for Ricky Starks. Ricky Saints, my bad. Ricky Saints, NXT North American
Yes, sir.
champion. Yeah, I mean, it's still new. It's still new. You know what's new too? That belt you got right there, though, baby.
Who you telling? Listen, I understand it, I understand having old names and new names is all confusing, but still it remains I'm the NXT North American champion, baby.
Hell yeah, put your hands together. How you feeling right now, man?
I feel great. Oh my God, I'm here, my first Mania weekend where I'm actually allowed to be here in public and not get in trouble. It's perfect.
We talked about that last year. You're in Philly. You're in the suite watching Mania. What was going through your mind as you were watching this production go down?
That wasn't my first Mania. I've been to a few of them, but that was great just because I saw a good friend of mine finally win the big one. It was a great weekend, but I do remember saying to myself that would be the last time that I was on that side of the glass panel, so to speak. That would be the last time that I was in a suite. And look at me now.
Look at you, carrying gold.
It's not bad. Now, I've been in a few suites, and there's nothing like being in a crowd, number one. Just from us mere mortals' perspective. Being in a crowd, especially at a big show like Mania, they're going to bring it. But before you were the star that we know you are today, you were just like us.
Yeah.
So let us know, when did you get bit by that wrestling bug where you thought, this is what I'm going to do?
I was 7. And I saw Undertaker walk up the steps and throw his hands in the sky and a loud explosion. I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then I didn't have I went to my first wrestling show live when I was 11. And I remember, it was SmackDown, and I remember walking in there and seeing the big fist and being so blown away by like what I was witnessing. And I'll never forget Kane's pyro just burning my face off because I was right on the side of the stage. I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. This is the best thing I've ever found in my life. And so, you know, I told my mom I was gonna be a wrestler when I was 7, and I'm a man of my word, and look at it.
Look at you. Okay. Let's give it up for that. A boyhood dream, right?
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
You're known, you're real nice on the mic. You talk a lot of trash, right? So my question is, that didn't just start. That's a skill that's been developed over years and years. So I want to know, what was Little Ricky like growing up, man?
Oh, God. Little Ricky was talking trash to people who were way older than me, getting into fights that I shouldn't have been getting into, starting mess with people because I thought it was fun. I grew up a lot around, I hung out with a lot of older people. Like, my mom would take me to house parties that she would go to, and they're playing cards and dominoes, and I would sit there and I would have conversations with them. And so I just learned to talk trash with them, basically. And then as I got older, especially different schools that I went to, I had to figure out a way to protect myself, but also to, listen, I love pissing people off. I find it to be, I find it to be so fun. I'm really a troll in real life, and it's fun to do. I love it. And that's where that all comes from. It's just the practice of it. It's the practice of making somebody so mad that they, you know, start stuttering and going crazy.
Okay. All right. Now, we know about your mic skills, obviously your skills in the ring, but we know that it wasn't always as crisp as it is now. Can you tell us when was your welcome to wrestling moment a bump that either you took too hard or just a moment in general where it was like, okay, this is the work part?
I don't know if you guys remember, but I had a tag match on NXT a very long time ago against Big Cass and Enzo Amore, and Big Cass grabbed me underneath my armpit and threw me over the top rope. And when I went over the top rope, when I landed, I almost bit my tongue in half. And so it was such a nasty injury, basically, that I had to get stitches a bit and whatnot. But I'll never forget laying there after falling and be like, oh my God, maybe I should have been a doctor. Or maybe I should have found another profession, you know? Yeah. But honestly, after that, everything has been great. Even the worst bumps that I've taken, I'm like, okay, all right, maybe I'll live another day, thankfully.
Right. You didn't bite your tongue in half.
I didn't bite my tongue. Dude, I'm telling you, biting your tongue in half and having to eat, and it is one of the most painful, annoying injuries that you ever have, because you don't realize how hard it is to do things with a split in half tongue. Hard to talk. It's hard to chew, eat. All the food hurts. Like, for like good 3 weeks, I was messed up just from that.
Yeah, I once was having a conversation with Tony Hawk, and I asked him what was the worst injury he ever had, because you just got to know stuff like that. And he said broken pelvis. He said laughing, coughing, sneezing hurts every time.
You don't realize it. It hurt. It's painful, but then there's more of an injury where it's extremely annoying to do anything. Like yesterday, I've almost bit through my lip. I can't tell you how many times laughing, it just keeps reopening, drinking. I'm just over it.
I'm just over it.
So, Ricky, what I just thought of from these last two instances is maybe you should go the Kurt Angle route, put a mouthpiece in. That way you won't start.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm a G. I ain't doing that.
Biting his tongue in half, baby.
Come on.
What else we got? So, you made your way here to NXT, and I was asking you in the back just about your feelings, and I said to you, are you happy?
Yeah.
So you want to let them know? Are you happy?
Absolutely,
right
I'm
now?
happy. I don't think as people we take the time out to really say it out loud, like, oh, I am happy, for once in my life. We have people ask us, like, hey, are you okay? Are you good? And you kind of do the little BS, like, yeah, I'm fine. But there's never a moment where someone asks you legitimately, hey, are you currently happy in this phase of your life? And for me, that is a big thing right now. Like, wow, I am genuinely happy.
Yeah.
And it's a great thing it's a great place to be at, obviously, but it feels so good because I have an abundance of happiness to share with other people, right? So
That's awesome.
yeah, I think it's worth it to anyone really to find what makes you happy. And sometimes I don't know what it is. It just finds me. But yeah, definitely that conversation really was like, yeah, I am happy actually. After this weekend, I was incredibly happy.
I like to ask the questions that you don't always get. That's just,
Right.
because this is the stuff that they want to know.
Yeah, y'all all hear the same thing. Who's your favorite wrestler? What's your favorite dream opponent? Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, they want to know what's a good match, but they never ask you how good are you,
But don't get it twisted. We are going to ask you those.
I'm for sure.
Well,
getting
yeah,
those.
I get
too,
that for sure.
Now, something that it just seems like a good segue because
Okay.
we're talking. He said favorites and things like that. Here at NCW, we like to get the perspective from these superstars from their their days as a fan, and for a lot of kids out there, Paul Heyman turning on Roman and Punk, that's going to break their heart.
Yes.
Cody losing last night, I'm heartbroken. You could tell. But Cody losing to John Cena is going to be a moment. What was a moment as a fan?
Well, you're burying it. The John Cena heel turn is.
I mean, that's another one, too. What was a moment as a fan where wrestling broke your heart?
When Triple H beat Cactus Jack at No Way Out in 2000.
Okay.
No one ever says that one. That one
They don't.
because the next night on Raw they show this video package of Mick Foley's career to the song of Sarah McLachlan's "I Will Remember You," and
I will
remember you. Yeah, now they use it for like dog commercials. But I remember running my bathwater and crying and being like, man,
You went and took a bath and got in your feelings?
yes, oh man.
McLaughlin will do
I'm
that
gonna miss
to you, bro.
Cactus Jack. The worst part was I watched this all on scrambled pay-per-view. We just lost the illegal black box that we had, so I was watching pay-per-views for pretty much free all the time. And then this one pay-per-view, they caught us, and so I had to watch it scrambled. And then the next day, my friend gave me a VHS to watch it, fully. But by then, I already knew what was up, and yeah, it was heartbreaking on a lot of levels.
It's funny you bring up Cactus Jack, Mankind, Mick Foley, in a black box because back in '96, I lived in Pittsburgh. I was going to go to Hell in a Cell at the Civic Arena
Nice.
to watch Mankind take on The Undertaker. And instead, one of my buddies brought his brother's cheater box over to my apartment. If you know anything about Pittsburgh, I lived on Mount Washington next to the incline. And instead of going to the Civic Arena to watch it, I was like, all right, bet I'll have a couple of the fellas come over. We'll watch this. And then the moment happened of him getting tossed off the cage, getting thrown through it. And I couldn't decide if I was like, I wanted to be there, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe I missed it. But also watching it at home, you got the angles, you got the replays, you kind of fully understood what was going on. So kind of to this day, I don't know, man. It's like I could have been there, but I watched it at home, and I don't know which one was better right now.
I think being there live would have been way crazier and way more of an experience. Don't get me wrong, I love watching from my home, but feeling the energy at a lot of these events is way better. Last night I was watching from the side at Mania, and I was just like, this is insane. I want to feel it. I want to feel the energy that is going across everybody when they're losing their mind over something.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I whenever I'm trying to get people into watching wrestling, I always say you gotta go.
Yes, once.
Yeah.
You gotta go. It's happened to me with a few things. I wasn't necessarily the biggest hockey guy.
Imagine that.
What does that mean?
Just a statement. Just a statement.
Well, that's crazy. Anyway, I wasn't the biggest hockey guy, but going to Kings games when I was younger,
It's different.
like into the adulthood, it's amazing. Baseball is still terrible, and I just won the World Series. But going to a wrestling event is like when you hear a song for the first time and you're out with some people.
Yeah.
Every single time you see it, you think about that first time. And so I suggest to anybody, if you could get to any sort of live event, it is the best way to take in the experience. And you're going to have the time of your life.
No doubt.
Unless it's WrestleMania in Philadelphia. Because, boy, it's so cold.
Yeah.
Oh, it was rough. The first night was rough. The
Night
second
one
night
was
wasn't
bad.
Oh, man. Like, it hurt to clap.
I wonder how you would feel if you went to a golf tournament in person. Is it the same thing?
Because we just
I'll
had
get lit at that golf tournament.
we just had the Masters, of course, and people talking about they're watching golf for 6 hours, and I'm like, I don't think I could sit and do that.
It's for some. It's not for me.
It's not for me, man. All right, let's get into it a little bit more. Shout out to Shawn Michaels.
Cute.
Just because.
Shout out to my boss.
Just because. Interest music just
Well, you
playing.
know what?
I
Now-
think everybody's coming
Now
out.
that this song's on, let me jump in and ask you this. We hear Shawn Michaels' theme playing right now. What's it like for you to be able to work with Shawn Michaels and kind of be able to pick his brain?
Honestly, it's wild to me. It's insane sometimes because Sean is he's very thorough in his advice, and he's very thorough in his perspective on life, especially he's lived the life 10 times over. So that's a guy that talks to me in a way that, as he says, he goes, I get you. You know, I actually understand you. You're a very passionate person. Sometimes that passion is misconstrued for other things. So having Sean as a boss is awesome because he wants me to go out there and be the best. But he also knows that some of us are just a little bit too crazy. Yeah. And you got to let the reins loose, so to speak, on some of these wild stallions.
You know, we see this a lot in the NBA, right? When you have like a great player, it's hard for them to coach because they can't get out of someone what they put into it. You know what I mean? Because of their talent level, their work ethic, their drive, their hustle.
Well, also too, sometimes they don't know why they do certain things. I'm asked, why did I do that? I can't tell you. I just did it. I don't know why I did it. Sean is the same way. He doesn't know why he did certain things when you watch his match and ask him what was the thought process on it. He just, I don't know. I just did it. So that right there is hard to teach that to somebody.
Yeah.
They say Michael Jordan was a terrible coach. You know?
Yeah.
He couldn't
He
do it.
was.
But he was a great player. So I just think it's not for everyone when it comes to coaching and doing that. But you can mentor and give advice in different ways that hopefully they pick up on in these small ways, basically.
Yeah, there's so many small nuances and you know, just the things that start to become like breathing for you where you don't even realize that you do that. And that'll be the missing piece to giving somebody on the right path to do something. So I completely understand that. When you see, obviously, you being here in the WWE, you're running into legends. You know, we're talking about the great Shawn Michaels, Booker T on commentary. I mean, with the
Man.
Yeah, shout out to Book. With the Hall of Fame being just recently, did you run into somebody that you never met before that you were excited to talk to? I know I would have flipped out seeing Brett and Stone Cold just kicking it.
Oh, I got the worst answer because I've met almost everyone that was there. In some type of way, I've met them, whether on the indies, at a signing or whatnot. So I've met a lot of them, and they've all maintained the same type of, very warmness meeting them. And even if I had any questions at the time, they were always open to giving me some type of advice. I remember asking Rob Van Dam once, like, hey, like just a random question about how to do splits, and he was just he was so cool about it, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. Is there, with you being in NXT, and we're seeing, you know, what is going to be the future of the WWE there, is there anybody's path you want to cross that you know you're gonna put on a banger for us over there at NXT?
Oba Femi.
Okay.
Oh
The
man,
ruler.
The ruler.
here we go.
You trying to become 2 belt saints? Is that what you're trying for?
Absolutely. Of course. Why wouldn't I?
I love it.
The thing about being a wrestler, man, it's all about presentation, right? Like a lot of it, obviously you gotta have the skills, but the presentation of a wrestler is something that really draws people in, right? You do the pose.
Yeah.
It's part of your signature. Where did that come from? What just made you all of a sudden go, you know?
The pose came about because when I was younger, I used to whenever I was eating something that I really enjoyed, I would dance, I would like do these random things. And I saw a picture of me, actually my mom caught me in like mid motion of doing this thing with my hands. And I remember I went to Japan and I was walking around and there was like I don't know how to explain it. I was in the video game district and there was a commercial of this dude, like Statue of David or whatever you want to call it, like doing this pose. And I went to the show and I did it in front of the crowd. And I was like, oh, wow, that's so interesting. Once I saw the picture of it, I was like, that's what I am. I'm just a live statue. I'm just a live statue and I just want to stay still for one moment to bask in it. I do something cool. I like it. At home now, I'm just like, I do something just randomly. I go, you know what? That was. And now it's so funny. People meet me and they do it and they want to take pictures like that. So I like it. I think it's a good boost of confidence for somebody because, you know, why not?
Right?
Hit the pose on them. Who cares?
Yeah, you hit it every time. Now, speaking of hitting,
Okay. Yeah.
I got to get to our most famous question here at NCW. And it's a situational based question, Ricky. You're out at a bar.
Chilling.
There's 50 dudes in there that don't want you in that bar.
They're hating.
I'm used to
Ricky,
that.
I need you to pick a team of you and 4 other superstars to make sure you're making it to the car.
And they can be of any era, of any time.
Okay. Haku.
Makes sense.
He's every time.
He's like the leading
We gotta
vote-getter
form this
in
differently.
this. In
Godfather.
All right, nice.
Steve Blackman.
Yo, Lethal Weapon.
And try to think on this one. I need a good last one, right? Yeah, I would say The Undertaker.
That's a solid one.
PSK crew, baby.
Yeah.
Makes sense. You know, we had X-Pac on the pod a few weeks ago. We asked him the question. O'Shea set it up. He goes, well, it happened. We're like, what do you mean it happened? He goes, the Click. We were in a bar somewhere and we're like,
Yeah.
in
it was
Canada.
some of the BSK.
And dudes, it was about to go down, followed them outside. And he said all of a sudden, a big limo pulls up and the BSK crew all gets out. There's Yoko, there's Kishi, there's and like there was no fight after that, obviously.
Taker's told me some stories that I'm like, yeah, I would have fit right in. I wouldn't have had the tattoo, but I would have been right behind him.
Okay.
Right there.
Tattoo is crazy. I can't wait to interview Rikishi and just like pick his brain of just everything that went down. Bro.
Right.
Oh yeah. He won't tell us on camera though.
No, of course not. You gotta keep some of them. You gotta keep some of those stories to yourself.
Right.
But I would love to get in a fight now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. I may do it in Vegas.
Hey, man.
Fighting y'all is not fair. It's not worth it because you fall out like that lady tried to do yesterday. You fall out and you.
Yeah, can we talk about that?
You would immediately try to get
Take
me.
a dive.
Man, I mean, she's trying to become what, green shirt lady now instead of green shirt guy.
Bro.
She wants tickets to WrestleMania up to 96. It appears, right?
My neck, my back.
My neck
and my back.
Oh, I'm shot. I'm hurt. Like what?
Rich Eisen's gonna kill us. All right, so we're running a little bit out of time. I
Yep.
feel like we got to get him in on that
Yeah.
dream match.
So I got one more for you then. You're gonna give a chance. We're gonna give you a chance, Ricky, to pick 5 dream WrestleMania opponents. Any era, any athlete that you would have a banger of a main event at WrestleMania with.
Ooh, okay. Me versus Undertaker.
Okay.
Me versus Shawn Michaels. Me versus Rey Mysterio.
Oh, yeah.
Me versus Cody.
Oh,
And me versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Okay.
oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
You guys popped on that one.
Oh, those
I'm,
promos?
I'm buying 5 tickets right there.
Oh,
Well, this has been amazing.
yes.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you, brother, for taking the time to sit with us.
Absolutely.
And, you know, I earlier in the interview, earlier in the interview, I remember I asked him who he would want to go against, you know, cross paths with. Well, here at NCW, we like to make dreams come true.
Yes, we do.
So please, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for our next guest. He is your NXT champion.
The ruler.
The ruler, Oba Femi.
The ruler.
Listen, we getting pictures. It's our first
You guys
time
take a
here.
pic and just DM us on there.
It's our first time here, y'all. Make some noise for Ricky Saints,
Saints.
y'all.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, I ain't say it wrong the first time.
Well, you know, because I had it written down. I'm
Yeah,
very
chill.
oriented. I'm reading
Why
off the
you
card.
doing this, bro?
You know, I'm
All
giving
right,
you details.
you go get him going. You go cut a promo. But right now we got the champ,
Yes.
the ruler, the very first ever 2-time guest on NCW.
That's right. How about
First
that?
time ever, bro. Put him in the history books, folks. How are you, man? How you feeling?
I feel great coming off of that excellent triple threat main event. It's good to see you guys again.
Man,
I
it's
feel
a
great,
pleasure.
man. It's Mania weekend and I'm enjoying this. Mania week was awesome. Let's do it, man.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
what's up.
I gotta say though, because when we do these Mania trips, and I made a promise to my siblings that anytime Mania is not super far, we're gonna go. But we were at Stand and Deliver. 9:30 in the morning is crazy,
Wild.
bro. And y'all had to be there at 5. Yeah. That
Call time was 5:15. It was insane. Just and it came and went so quick. Last year it was 1 p.m. So people had woken up a little bit, but the people showed up. We sold out the building, and I can't ask for anything more.
exactly.
That's
bro.
what's up.
So
That's what's up.
those are the struggles we don't see, y'all.
Right? Yeah.
They gotta get there 5 to 15 in the morning and attack each other.
That's insane.
It's the American dream.
So, but you were with us, I believe, in January. You're still relatively new to this, as you were telling us. Why do you think you've had so much success?
I feel like my success has a lot to do with how authentic I've been. I'm not playing wrestler. I'm playing Oba. I'm playing myself. If you just be yourself, people can bite off of that way more than they'll bite off of you pretending to be something you're not.
Exactly.
So be authentically you, and even if you don't have so many people gravitating towards you, you're going to have that niche fan base that you know that they're here because of you and because you are who you are. So be yourself. That's the long story cut short.
Exactly.
Absolutely, man. And like I said, we were at Stand and Deliver. The triple threat that you guys put on, it really had the feeling of a big time fight. You know, just the presentation, everybody bringing it. We know you've had your battles with Trick Williams. Talk to us a little bit about what it's like being in ring with Javon Evans.
I can't lie. I doubted that boy. A lot of people have said, because I called him a child, a lot of people were like, well, you're just, 5-6 years older than him. But like, you have to understand that like in wrestling years, that's a lot. There's a huge difference between a 26, 27-year-old to a 19, 20-year-old. Like, you're just in two very different phases of life. When I was his age, I was in college. I was probably a sophomore or a freshman. And for him to be where he's at his age, I have to say now I'm impressed. He made me a believer. I do believe that he is the future. We're stuck in the present, and the present is Oba Femi, but he is the future, and I'll give him his flowers. I tip my hat to Javon Evans.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, man. The dude's going places. I had a chance to talk to him last night, and humble dude.
Yeah.
Doesn't know how good he is, and that's a beautiful thing when you can still have your head on your shoulders and everybody telling you you're the man.
For sure.
But right now we are in the present, and we are in the presence of the ruler.
The ruler. So, Oba, as you look over the NXT landscape, you just had your triple threat match, kind of disposed of those two opponents. Who are you looking at now as someone who could be ready to step up to you and challenge you for that title?
I'm the champion. It's not my job to look for who is stepping up. It's their job to look to me and step up.
Okay.
It's whoever comes and steps up to the plate is whoever I'll face. As long as you can earn your way to the title opportunity, I'm game. Any man living, breathing, as long as you breathe there, Oba Femi will face you as long as you earn it.
That's what's up.
Damn, I breathe air.
So you want some? Is that what you're saying?
Chill out. Something that I don't think the last time we spoke, I don't think I asked you this question because I can't even remember a major
I don't think you
move
did, though.
being done on Oba.
Yeah.
But is there any moves out there that you're not really a fan of taking? That they're just like, all right, here come these kicks, or like anything where you got to brace yourself a little bit?
I think in general, apron bumps. I have a specific problem with apron bumps because the way it registers in the mind of some professional wrestlers, I don't think it quite resonates with the people at home. The risk to reward ratio is not very optimal. I don't think so. Like, some people don't even know like it's a harder part of the ring. So like, when you take those bumps in your mind, you're like, oh wow, they understand that I'm injuring myself, but some of the fans don't quite understand that. So it sucks for me when I take it knowing that.
Yeah. And you did, like I said, you were on the pod earlier a few months ago, and you did answer this question, but now we have a whole new, people out here who may not have heard this. Who were some of the big men? You told us that some guys go down to NXT, some of the big fellas, and kind of teach you guys how to wrestle big man style. Who were some of the guys that you were saying kind of help you
so
out?
for me, it was Coach Bloom is the biggest one. He's our head coach at the Performance Center.
You guys know him as A-Train, Prince Albert.
A-Train, Tensai, pick
Lord
one,
Tensai.
Albert, whichever. He's done a lot for me. He took me under his wing. He saw potential where it was, and he met me where I was and helped me get to where I needed to be. Of course, Ivar has been running a big man class at the Performance Center for the past 2 years now. So every Wednesday, me and Ivar, we sit down, we watch film, we talk about what to do, what not to do. And I had the privilege of wrestling him at Spring Break-In last year. So props up to Ivar. Dijak and Josh Briggs were also another group of people that really helped me, especially when I worked with them at Stand and Deliver last year. So I would say those four are the biggest influences when it comes to working the big man style. And it's obviously it's helped me get to where I need to be.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Now, speak a little bit on, you just spoke about the big men that you get your experience and you get most of your gems from. Who are some people in your life that without them you wouldn't be the Oba that we know today? Some personal people that helped you on this journey to get you where you are.
Are you talking about people from like past life, even like before wrestling, or like?
Yeah.
Parents, mother, father, especially mother. She was always that. Dad would always go out and work. So mom is the one I got the most face time with. My mother has been so helpful. She gave me the childhood that even when I didn't deserve it. She made me feel like things were better than they actually were, even when they were hard. So shout out to my mother. My best friend David. He was the one who kind of kept my head in check because the ruler does some ruler things, and there are certain settings where you're not meant to be the ruler. So shout out to David for putting me on track. He was always the voice of reason in my life. My coach at Alabama, man, I don't know what to do without him because he was the one who made me a great shot putter. That's a life before wrestling, but that was at some point that was my life. Yeah. Shot put and the Olympics. That was what I wanted to do. So shout out to Derek Yosh, Coach Yosh. He's been a huge influence.
That's what's up.
Listen, when y'all boo, this is the man y'all booing. Remember that. All right, it was a great answer. Never boo the ruler, bro.
You mentioned going to Alabama. You played track and field, and my thought was, I can't believe Nick Saban didn't come to your dorm room and say, come follow me. And you said no one ever approached you about football, right?
I mean, it was always going to be tricky because because I grew up in Nigeria, we don't play football.
Yeah.
Soccer, football, different football we play. But I'd never played football, had zero experience. So it was always going to be hard to justify giving, someone who had zero experience playing football a full ride. And I feel like that was always the problem because I had rapport with the strength coaches, the football strength coaches, and even, Saban himself, I've met him, I've said words to him. So, it was always going to be a tricky bit, and that's why it never quite panned out that way.
It was funny, you say it was tricky, but you didn't have wrestling experience, right? Yeah. And now you got gold on your shoulder. So I think football, something tells me you could have adapted had you wanted to, but I think you did the right thing. I think.
I did, but you get paid to be a wrestler. You get paid well if you're in my position. If you're the ruler, you
get very well as a ruler.
Bro,
but that was different. He couldn't give me how much I deserved. He couldn't give me that full ride, and that's why I couldn't do it.
That's what's up.
Well, little did he know he probably saved somebody's life by him going into wrestling.
Right. Just to break someone's back, though. You know what I mean?
Right. So, obviously, major news. I'm not sure if you're aware, but John Cena won his 17th world title. Talk to us a little bit about what that kind of looks like. Your eyes, a dude coming up in NXT, not quite on the main stage, but we know, Oba's going to the main stage. So talk to us a little bit about John Cena, just what he means to the business, if there's anything, if you've ever met him, and speak on the man with the 17 belts.
Mr. Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect. He's very synonymous with those three words, but I think one big word is missing: consistency. Boo him, cheer him, rain, sun, hell freezing over. John was always there. John always did his thing. So big respect to John. Funny you bring him up because I just had a very incredible full circle moment with John back there because 2 years ago, before the North American Championship reign, before the NXT Championship reign, before I was even on television, he came to the PC and he watched me wrestle one of the Dark State boys, the Dion Lennox. So we had a PC live match. There are these matches we organize at the PC to, just for the coaches to see where everybody is at. John happened to be there and he watched my match. He called me and Dion to the back. He talked to us for about 40 minutes. He gave us all his insights and everything he knew and he could possibly remember to tell us. He told us, and I just saw John back there 2 years later, longest reigning North American champion, NXT Championship. You know, all that, and it was he saw me and he said congratulations, and we shared a moment there, and that was awesome.
Can you share, or do you remember any like the little things, nuances he did share with you back then?
He taught me to always, you know, fight for what I believe in. He also said pick your battles wisely, because you know some people here fight for what you believe in and they feel like they can fight everybody for what they believe in. He kind of guided me to understand what battles are worth fighting for. He understands, you know, there's always going to be a gap between talent and office, and he's a genius because he knows how to navigate those waters and those terrains perfectly to strike that balance between being one of the boys and doing what the office wants you to do. So he shared that knowledge with me, and it's been very helpful.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Okay, now with obviously with it being Mania weekend, the Hall of Fame is there. Is there anybody that you ran into that you didn't meet before that you were excited to be able to cross paths with? Any of the legends?
Ran into Ray Phoenix.
Okay.
Congratulations to him for signing with the WWE. He's awesome.
Exciting to see what he's going to do.
Beautiful moment for Ray Phoenix and Penta.
What was that?
I said it was a beautiful moment for Ray and Penta to both have Mania matches.
Oh yeah, that was incredible, and they did awesome, man. That Fatal 4-Way match was incredible.
Yeah.
Ray versus Chad Gable was incredible. I enjoyed it. Congratulations to them.
You know, as it just hit me as you were mentioning John Cena, your conversation, what he meant. Is there any way, any chance that maybe for December we get John Cena and Oba Femi in a squared circle somewhere?
Oh, TJ, I love it.
Well, I think someone out there wants to know the answer to that question, right? Yeah,
Man.
Wants to know.
I wish, but he's in the twilight of his career. He's winding down. I'm just getting started. I don't know if our paths are going to cross in that fashion. I hope it does, but I don't think so.
So you know what? On the Rich Eisen show, we do this segment where a coach during a press conference will say something. He'll give you an answer, but we know maybe he was just saying what he was saying. So we'll play a drop that says, what were they really thinking? And then we'll say what they were really thinking. To me, what you were really thinking is, he's at the end, he's old, I'll break him, he doesn't want any.
Bro,
that's kind of what it seemed like.
He said slowing down? That was crazy. You said he's slowing down. Whoa. I mean, I saw the shot.
I mean, yes, there's definitely that in my mind. That's definitely a factor. I'm in my prime, you know? Like, I'm young, I'm spry. John is not the same. Respect to him, you know, he's a champion right now, but I think I'm still Oba Femi. I'm still the ruler. Don't forget that.
That's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear.
But I just don't think our paths are going to cross in that fashion, you know.
Man, well, we can only hope, right? We can always hope.
Especially us as fans, we can only hope.
Yeah. Someone's fantasy booking that right now, as a matter of fact. So,
all right, now we've spoken to you before. We've gotten this bar fight question.
yeah.
We've gotten the welcome to wrestling moment.
You got that out, yep.
Something that they started to add into the Hall of Fame. They're adding matches. All right, they're adding WrestleMania matches. Is there a WrestleMania match that sticks out to you as one of your favorites that you could share with us that you would put in the Hall of Fame?
WrestleMania 31, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, with Rollins cashing in at the end. I think at some point that goes in the Hall of Fame for sure.
I see that. And it's funny, you said his name, so I'll now ask the question I wasn't going to, but now I will. You mentioned you were a shot putter. There's a daughter of a famous wrestler who's also a pretty good shot putter, and her name is Lesnar. So I'm thinking, two thoughts came to mind. One, she's going to have to join the family business at some point.
Yeah.
And two, what would a matchup between Brock Lesnar and Oba Femi look like?
It's going to be carnage.
Yeah.
It's going to be carnage. It's one of those things you have to see, and because you can't explain what it's going to be. I think Oba Femi versus Brock Lesnar sells tickets. I think it's the main event of whatever show it's going to be on, and I think it's going to be incredible.
Easy.
Congratulations to his daughter. She's killing it. She was able to accomplish something I was never able to accomplish. She became NCAA champion. She's a national champion right now. I don't know if she's going to join the family business because we always assume that just because the predecessor did something, the offspring will do the same. We always assume, but it's not always the case. There's so many celebrities with children. You're like, well, what the hell do they do? They just chose not to do the family business. So whatever she chooses to do, I think she's going to be successful at it regardless.
Some start wrestling podcasts,
Yeah, bro.
Some children
Bro,
are celebrities.
I started this because they put the actors on strike, and for 7 months I couldn't work. So it was about finding a job that I knew would never leave me, and that's wrestling.
So we're like, this is 52 weeks a year. There's no off season.
No off season.
We're gonna be
Every
able to
week,
do this.
baby. Every week.
And you're killing it, man.
Thank you.
All right, listen. Here at No Contest, you're like the local gardener, bro. You planted seeds for Oba versus John. You're planting the seeds for Oba versus Brock. I just want to get
if
ahead of
someone
the
gives me
internet
pencil,
people.
Oba, just give me the pencil. I'll book.
That's amazing, man. So if you had is there any type of match, I should say, that we've obviously seen through these PLEs, whether that be, the big moments that Hell in a Cell has given us, the added drama that a Money in the Bank is always going to give you. Is there any of those matches that, have PLEs named after them that you're excited to be a part of or that you wanted to sink your teeth into?
Yeah.
Royal Rumble would be a good one.
Yeah.
Because as we already know,
That's a pretty solid one.
the ruler is very good at multi-man matches. So the Royal Rumble is the perfect scenario for the ruler to come in, throw in 29 other bombs out of the ring and win the damn thing.
Here's the problem, though, Ruler. When you get to the Rumble, they expect you to go on a full sprint. I don't see the Ruler walks at his own pace. So, I mean, is that what would you keep the pace? Would you run? I can't see it.
There's no point keeping the pace. If the other 29 guys are not keeping the pace, there's no reason for me to sprint. But here's the thing. My sprint and their sprint is different.
Okay.
My pace and their pace is also different. So their 5 and my 5 is better than their 5. So I'm still throwing out all 29 men and winning the damn thing.
There you go.
Dude, we gotta figure out. I mean, for him to be our first 2-time guest, bro.
Yeah.
We might name an award after you, bro. We didn't think this was gonna happen, man.
The Oba Femi Award.
Yeah. We gotta figure out something nice for you. Now, just because we have a live audience, I'm going to go back to our most famous question because you guys got to react. If you're not already subscribed to the No Contest Wrestling Podcast, which I don't know why you would be, and you're sitting here.
I know you are.
Come on, man. But you know the situation. 50 dudes in a bar. They don't want you in there. And I need you and a team of 4 other superstars to make sure the ruler makes it to the car. Who's on your team?
So is this NXT or overall?
What y'all want, overall or just NXT?
Across the board?
The people have spoken.
You said all time? Okay.
All time. So let's get the obvious one out of the way. Thou who shall not be named, the Lesnar. He's definitely my number
Love that
one
for
pick.
us.
Yes.
Fit Finley in his prime.
Yeah.
Easily.
I've heard stories about Finley back.
I've been coach. He's old now, and even in his old age, he's still the man. Randy in his prime would be a good one.
Brock.
Randy Orton in his prime. How many guys? 5 guys?
Yeah, you need one more.
One more. There's so many to pick from. Let's say Trick Williams.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Let's say Trick Williams. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Williams fan. I'm not a fan of the whole sports entertainer flashy, sunglasses inside type of. No shade, no shade, no shade.
That's crazy.
But I'm not a Trick Williams fan, but he has definitely earned my respect. I've done so many dances with that man on the big stage, even in classes with Terry Taylor. Me and Trick have gone the whole way. So Trick Williams is another one I would want behind my back.
Builds up a respect when you go to battle with a man like.
All right,
you and
okay.
Trick.
Just by you answering that way, there's something I need to know, and I might start asking people this question.
Okay.
So obviously at the Performance Center, it's a lot of learning, a lot of teachers. Who is the principal at the Performance Center? Who is the person you don't want to hear from as soon as they call you in there because they're about to put you through the ringer?
You're talking about coaches?
Yeah. When that name pops up, you in for it.
So different coaches have different icks. Yeah. So depending on what you've done, that's what's going to determine what coach you would want to see versus what coach you wouldn't want to see. After a bad match, you wouldn't want to see like Sean or Matt Bloom because they'll tell you how it is. It sucked, kid. They'll let you know what you've done. Terry Taylor is another one you wouldn't want to hear from. He's very passionate about this business. He's very passionate about wrestling. So he will nitpick you until you become the perfect wrestler. And until you get there, as we all know, perfection is impossible. So until you get there, you will hear it all from Terry Taylor. So overall, my pick would still be Terry Taylor because of how passionate he is about it and how much he has to say.
All right, bro. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but NCW, we've kind of become the go-to spot for NXT.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of NXT love on the pod, which
so
is
now
amazing.
I'm going to need to get a vote. So right now, Terry is in the lead.
Seems like it.
He's in the lead for the principal of the PC, man. Beautiful.
He might be the guidance counselor, really, then, because when you got that guidance counselor call, you were like...
That wants perfection?
That's
crazy, dude.
Anybody out there got any questions for Oba?
Yeah, this is the only time we get to do this.
Man.
You got engaged? Is that what you're saying? Oh, well, congratulations.
Congratulations, my man.
Congratulations, man. Is she with you?
Wait. So how did you pull this off?
Yeah.
Oh, she flew back? Bro, I'm thinking you got engaged.
Yeah, I thought. Would you do this on FaceTime? Like if you're here and she's there?
I gotta tell you, brother, you're raising a lot of questions. Yo, that's hard, bro. Make some noise for my man.
Yeah,
he got engaged. I'm lonely watching wrestling. It's perfect time for the bell. Hey, man, you got your hand up. I see you.
Sorry, what's that?
I think he said, who do you want to match against next?
Who do you want to match against next?
Who do I want?
Y'all see my hearing? My hearing good?
I already said it's left to them to step up, but I can't think. I can tell you what we have in store. I know Hikuleo is in the woodworks right now. He can come out whenever he's ready. Lance Anawai is also in the woodworks right now. Whenever they're ready, they
Sounds
can
like
come.
you're dropping some news right now.
I'm not dropping anything. I'm just telling you the potential.
Okay.
I've cleared everybody. Who's the biggest star in NXT? Some people will say Trick. I think it's me, but some people will say Trick Williams. I cleared him twice.
Oh,
there's nobody left. So I'm just telling you what we have in the woodworks, in the closet. If it comes out, it comes out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm just telling you what's in the woodworks.
Now listen, bro. We had Ricky Saints up here, and we did not know. There it is. And we did not know he was gonna call you out so aggressively, and you be the next guest.
Right?
Kind of really worked out that way. Can we see that in the future?
I think so. Once He might want to unify the championships. He might want to become double champ, champ. Whenever he's ready for it, I'll be here. I'll be here, Ricky. I'm not running. I do like Ricky Sainz. I like it. I love his stuff. Congratulations to him. He jumped the ship and he bet on himself, and he's the man. But whenever he's ready, the ruler will be here.
Ooh. Chemistry, Oba, as you know, plays such a big part in wrestling. What wrestlers would you say you have the best in-ring chemistry with? Someone when you get the match card and you look, you like, yeah, it's going to be a banger tonight.
Well, I'll answer the question, but then I'll say something after. As far as the question goes, Josh Briggs, Dijak, Brooks Jensen, Axiom.
Yeah.
Just
big man, little man.
Just feel-wise, Wesley. Just feel-wise from what I felt, wrestling them. Those were the names that came to mind. But I'll say this. When you're aiming for perfection, when you want to become, the best superstar that you can possibly be, you have to transcend chemistry. You have to, you can't be like, oh, tonight it's this person and I don't normally have chemistry with this. If you're that good, chemistry doesn't matter. If you're Seth Rollins, chemistry doesn't matter. If you're AJ Styles, chemistry doesn't matter. There are some people who can, wrestle a broomstick and it'll be an awesome match. If you're Shawn Michaels, it never mattered with Shawn. He could have a good match with anybody. And that's where I want to be. I want to transcend chemistry.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Well said. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been our very first live episode of the No Contest Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah, man.
So while Oba's our first two-time, y'all are our first crowd.
Yeah.
So please make some noise for yourselves. Don't be humble. You deserve it.
Right. Truly, like I said earlier, it's humbling. We appreciate this. He and I have only been doing this since October. So for us to be here to talk to you twice, I mean, I'm a kid from Altoona who started going to wrestling when I was in 4th grade, and I was like, this is the most magical thing I've ever seen. To be able to come to WrestleMania weekend and do this with you and all you, man, this is the greatest, maybe the greatest weekend of my life,
That's solid. And all of that is not done without you guys' support. So thank you so much. Please make some noise for our guest, Oba Femi, the NXT champion and the ruler.
Oba Femi.
Oba Femi, y'all. Now,
Well,
it would not be an episode of the No Contest Wrestling Podcast if TJ, you didn't tell these lovely people where they can find us.
I tell you what, I literally, I was looking out, I didn't hear what you said.
Tell them where to find us.
Oh, where to find us? You look like you were pointing at somebody. I'm like, did I miss somebody? Well, you can always find us. You can look on Twitter. There's No Contest. Our Instagram, No Contest Wrestling Podcast. And all of our videos, including this one, you'll find us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page. That's where we put everything. So between the YouTube and the Instagram and the Twitter, it's everything we got.
Yeah, bro, that's everything we have. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Really meant a lot.
Did we say thank you to Jada Parker?
We didn't, but let's do it right now.
Are we going to say bye?
Just say, yeah, bye.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Bye, Miss Parker.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate you so much.
We're going to get into so much trouble.
Appreciate you guys for coming out.